Hello everybody and a very warm welcome to Crafters TV. My name's Ben Moseby. Welcome to Thursday. Here we are at the start of a brand new day. The sun is shining in the northeast, which is, well, a bit of a irregular occurrence. Doesn't happen very often, so we're delighted. And the sun is shining here too in the Crafters TV studios because we've got another great day of shows lined up for you. Later on, of course, tonight, with it being Thursday, live at 5, we have got Cartload. Tonight's show is a Halloween special. Loads of great deals coming up tonight. Trick or treat deals. We've got spooky deals. Got loads of individual deals for you as well. Over 50% off a lot of the items on that show. You can shop the show right now on the website. Do have a look before we get there. I'm going to ease you into the day today with a lovely craft along. If you like craft alongs, you'll love today and tomorrow, and you'll love last night as well, because 3 in 3 days. This show going to be concentrating on a really fun, cute set. The Cute Character Embellishments collection. If you've already got these, then hopefully you've seen all of the notes over on the socials, so you might be crafting along with us, or you might be thinking about crafting along maybe later on today. If you haven't yet picked them up, we've got the full collection available for you on this show, and indeed the smaller bundles too. So all of the options are available for you. Before I say a few hellos to you guys, let's say hello to the most important person in the room today. Rocking the pink with me today. I was going to wear my pink shirt without the jumper, but I'm freezing cold, so I've got a splash of pink. I might take it off later on. With the full pink though, pink top, pink shirt, pinkish tie. It's Mr. Pink himself, Craig Laird. How are you, Mr. Pink?
I am very good, thank you very much,
Pink.
Mr. Pink. Back to you. Yes, of course, for those of you that are maybe familiar with the film, Mean Girls is, well, Mean Girls Day, because it's, well, the 3rd of October, which will mean a lot to a lot of you at home that do like that film. So what is it exactly about the film, again? Because, Nicola, do you know? So there's a line in the film. So there's a line in the film when it comes to Mean Girls, when they're asking what the date is, and then they do say, of course, in the film it's the 3rd of October, which now has been made into some kind of, you wear pink on the 3rd of October, and it's called Mean Girls Day. So that's just what we do. That's what we've been doing. I think I did it last year, actually, as well. I think so. I think so. Anyway, who cares? It's all about the craft along.
Yeah, who cares?
This is what we're going to be making, with teeny little bit of pink being added to the lugs of the little bears. Now, these are the polar bears. So we've gone small this time. I'm quite conscious of the fact I tend to go large. I know it can be larger cards, it could be projects. So I thought, do you know what? Let's go small to a 4x6 card using one of the Cute Character Embellishment stamping dies. So if you want to make exactly what I'm going to be making, here's your list. One of 3 lists. You're going to be needing your polar bear stamping die. You're going to be needing your sparkling snowflake die set, which is the frame it dies. You're going to need your spots and dots stencils. You're going to need your delicate snowfall embossing folder, which is from Sarah's Watercolour Christmas. You're going to need some oval dies. You're going to need illustrator markers, the blender tool, blue ice grey 3. You're going to need ice grey 2 and rose blush. You're then going to need your Noir black alcohol-proof ink pad. You're going to need your Sailor's Wake duet ink pad, and then you're going to need your gems box. Then your additional items you're going to need is your G2. I'm going to be using the MIDI. You've got your guillotine you're going to need, some turquoise cardstock. You're going to be needing some black cardstock. You're going to need some watercolour cardstock. You're going to need some white cardstock and a 4x6 card blank kit. Just to reiterate, it is turquoise. I don't know why the pack says turquoise, but it's blue in it. It is turquoise you're going to need. And then your additional tools, you're going to need your magnetic stamping platform, a blending brush, fine spray mister tool, your wax tool, tape pen, low-tack tape, 3D foam pads, and your tacky glue. So that's everything that you're going to need if you want to make exactly what I'm doing. You might want to change the characters, you might want to change the colours. It's entirely up to you, but that's everything that you'll need.
Marvellous. We've got Radical Rachel on the socials. This show already in is Lois in Ohio. Hi to PB Brewer Martin in GA. Hello also to Julie Palmer. Morning. Susan Thompson. Morning. Crafty Melanie says, hello everyone. It is a public holiday in Germany. It is German Unity Day apparently. The best time to be creative. Best wishes, and sending best wishes to you and all of our German viewers. And Tez Thornton says, hello all, I have this collection and I love it. If you are crafting along, do let us know. And if you plan to craft along at a later date, once again, let us know and also tag us in any of your projects. As we said, it is Mean Girls Day today. So we are giving away 2 sets from the Wild at Heart collection to anyone who comments on the show. Any questions or comments generally, but we also want to know what is your best memory with your best girlfriend? I want to know.
Yeah.
It might have been a day out that you had together, or a holiday maybe you had together. Anything like that, really. Let us know. Maybe like a little crafty adventure you went on.
I know mine.
What?
I know mine.
Yeah.
So my best friend back home from, like primary 1, Carly, she's, her and Danny, they've got Reva. So we never fight. We never fight, we never argue, we never bicker, we never, ever, ever. And then there was one occasion, and it was actually in primary school, it was primary 6 or 7, and we were sitting next to each other, and she wanted the window closed, I wanted the window open. So she closed it, I opened it. She closed it, I opened it. And I'm telling you, that was probably the one and only ever argument, disagreement that we ever had over a window. It's my memory. I know it's not necessarily good. Well, it is a good memory in the fact that it makes us laugh now. So yeah, love that.
I have so many great memories with my best girl. 22 years of happy memories. Too many to mention. I'm talking about my daughter. No, I'm not. Some great memories. I haven't got. I've only got 53 minutes, so I won't take up the whole show. Too many great memories. Anyway, that's what we're going to give away. Send in your comments, please, and we'll give those away at the end of the show. The showstopper for the character embellishment set is here. So what I'll do is I'll show you the 4 smaller bundles, if you like, if you want to go for those individually, which make up your showstopper, which you get with an over £10, $10 saving if you buy it in one click. Each set comes with the main character embellishment stamp. You get the die to be able to cut that out, and then you get a sentiment to go with it as well. So your first 4 break down into the Halloween collection. So this is your ghosts. Ooh. You get the die with it to cut this out, and then you've got to have a beautiful night. Details on the bottom of the screen if you just want the Halloween collection. This next one is called the Mash of Monsters. So you're going to get the characters there, the Frankenstein, the witch, the mummy, the little vampire. I'm still not quite sure what that one is there. Is it like is it Frankenstein's monster's wife?
Is it not like Morticia? So what's Morticia?
Morticia is the wife of Gomez.
Yeah, so what is she?
She's a vampire, isn't she? I think.
Or she could be Marge Simpson.
It does look like a spooky Marge Simpson. Marge Simpson ghost. Because she's got no legs as well, that's the other thing. If you look, she's floating. So
Marge has legs.
Yeah, she does. No. Spooky Marge Simpson. Then you've got your pumpkins. If friends were pumpkins, I'd pick you. Well,
I would pick you as well.
I would pick you.
I'm throwing at you.
I wouldn't. I'm what? What did you just say?
I'm throwing at you sometimes.
I was just about to say I wouldn't
girls.
I wouldn't have an argument with you over a window. No.
You throw me through it.
Yeah. I wouldn't really. And lastly is your little monsters there.
You might want to do that when the camera's on you, Ben.
Yeah. A candy day keeps the monsters away. Next is your little animals. Let's do those. This is also a set of 4. Details individually bottom of the screen. So you've got cats, have a positively wonderful day. You've got doggies, sending puppy kisses and birthday wishes. If you get a chance to have a look at Craig's page today, have a look at the little video put up of Clemmy getting groomed.
Yep.
One spoilt pup.
She is indeed.
One smart pup as well. Somebody loves you, you've got the bunnies, and then you've got the little wee birdies on the branch. Life is sweeter when shared with friends. And then lastly, making up another bundle, your festive bundle, is this set of 6 stamp and dies. So you've got your wee cute penguins. You've got the reindeer, Christmas cheer to all those deer. You've got the little polar bears, so if you want to recreate Craig's craft along This is the set you're going to need to go for. Have a very Merry Christmas. There's Father Christmas in his sleigh. There is the gingerbread family. Gingerbread kisses and Christmas wishes. And then last but by no means least, you have got the snow family as well. You melt my heart. £60 or $76 if you want to go for all of them. As you said, bottom of the screen, we have popped in those individual bundles for you too. It's hard to pick one memory, says Cindy. Best memory of my bestie, says Kim. Every birthday we are able to spend together. Aww. Shazelle says, morning Ben and Craig and everyone, hoping to join in, but using the puppies stamp and die instead. Yep, you can sub in your other stamp and dies, of course. And Tez says, my memory is of my best friend is we caught the coach from our hometown of Worthing all the way to Lyme Regis. We thought it was great. We were only 14, stayed with my bestie's aunt and uncle. Lovely part of the world, Lyme Regis. Right, let's get into it then. So, where do we start, mister?
Right, well, we're going to start off with showing you some finished samples, first of all, and then we'll delve into, of course, the craft along, because you can take what I'm going to do and change it slightly, change it completely with what you're going to use character-wise. But you've got the cats there. Love this one here that Rebecca's done, just taking part of the same stamp. So you've got on and off the page. You've then got your shaker as well that you can start to create. You can do, is it called something like Spirelli or something? In the backdrop there with your ribbons or your wool, creating that backdrop. You've got some of your Halloween ones. Another good one here with your Dalmatians. And then let's show you one more for now because this is super cool as well, also by Rebecca. Taking your masking sheets, your masking roller, your masking gum, and then just creating from what was 5 or 6 penguins into a full array of penguins, which is a lot of fun. A full array of penguins.
I thought you'd come up with like the group name for penguins there for a second. A fullery of penguins.
Hey, if you didn't know, you would probably think that was actually the case. Can you imagine if it is, eh? A full array. Right, so let's do our inking first so that we can then kind of let it dry or set as such.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is I'm going to take my, which I've not got here, watercolour card. So I'm just going to bring in just a little bit of watercolour card. I've taken an oval nesting die, which is 2 3/4 by 4 inch. So that's 2 3/4 by 4 inch. This is just one from my own stash, which is a plain edge. It doesn't have your decorative edge to them. It's just a plain one. So run that one through, and then we're going to take our Sailor's Wake. So that one being our Duet ink pad. So taking our brush, taking our Duet ink pad, what we can then do is move the lid, and we're just going to go straight over the top. And you don't need to be neat or precise about this. We'll want to just get that colour on because we're going to do a little bit of water distressing and full bleaching. And then this is when we're going to come along with our spots and dots stencil. And then we're going to add a little bit more depth to it. So let's work our way all the way round. Don't worry either too much about the centre because our characters are going to cover the centre. So I'm just going to hold it down with my fingers. Anything that's water-based, I try not hold where my ink is, simply because the oils in my finger can transfer and you can get kind of like little fingerprints onto the card. You can either do what I'm doing if there's a section going to be covered, or just take a bit of scrap card and just hold it down that way. But let's keep going all the way round, working it round so we've got a fair bit of depth. I'm going to cover and colour the middle anyway while I'm here. So once you're happy with the laydown of your colour, we can go in with our water spritz. And I'm just going to use the mister because I've not filled mine up. But I'm going to flick in onto my cardstock. You know, I do love to flick with the water.
Yeah.
And then we're just going to leave that for a few moments or two. Because it's the Duet ink pad, Ben, what will happen is this will really pull the colour. So what you're going to be left with is a crisp white speckled backdrop. So all that I'm doing is plugging in my heat tool. You can let it dry naturally. We'll get there. But because we're in the craft along, I mean, look at that. I just love the effect with the Duet ink pads when it comes to the faux bleaching. So we're going to give that a light waft because, of course, I'm just drying it. I can waft my heat gun back and forwards. We talked about it briefly yesterday with heat embossing. If you're doing heat embossing, you don't want to waft it, you just want to stay still and move. But if you're drying something, what you can then do is just go back and forwards. Technically, speed 1 on your heat tool is for drying and 2 is for melting.
Yeah.
But I always just go to 2. Whether it's melting, whether it's drying, I'll just use them both, or use number 2 for both. So that's enough just to heat set that top layer. And then we're going to go in with our spots and dots, and I'm going to use the circular design here. And we're going to go into one corner, and then we're going to use the sailor's wake again, so it's tone on tone and inking through. At this point, Ben, you could use your glitter paste if you want to. You can do things like that. Do you know what you can do? Now, I know this isn't on my list, but let's just kind of do it and show you. If you've got your glitter glues, so not the glitter pastes, but the glitter glues, what you can do is, even if you put a little bit, mine just gunked up, typical, there's one at the side, let me get this one. So you can pop it onto your glass mat. So if we pop some into here, I'm just going to use my finger, but what you can also do is then just dab through, and then you're going to get a nice thin but shimmery layer with the ink popping through. So that's going to shine ever so... Oh, we can just catch it there.
No, you can, like glittering away there,
so
yeah.
Adding that on. What I'm going to do is let's just wipe that off, because we're just going to turn that one around, and I'm going to add a little bit into this corner here. I'm not going to go right over the top because I've popped some glitter glue now, but a nice way to also use your glitter glues within such of a glitter paste sort of way through your stencil.
Yeah.
So instead of just doing dots of embellishments, you can then use them in the way.
Now, you're using your finger here, could you use your daubers, or would it just soak into that too much?
No, you can do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Use your daubers if you want to. Nice way to use them and use them up. Let's just get that into here. So as I say, the glitter glues, I know they weren't on the list because I hadn't done this originally. It was just an idea that came into my mind a moment ago. And then, here we go. So we've now got our backdrop, speckled backdrop.
Beautiful.
With now having the glitter glues, which will sparkle that little bit more once that's dried. So now that we've done that, we can sit that to the side and let it dry. We can bring in now a white piece of cardstock.
Yeah.
So this is just our white cardstock that I'm going to use, and we're going to trim that to 3.5 inches by 5 inches. So if you take your guillotine and take your white cardstock, as I'm away to do just in a second, you're going to cut it to 3.5 by 5.5 inches, because that's the layer that we are going to emboss with our embossing folder.
Yeah.
So I've taken the embossing folder from Sarah's Watercolour Christmas. You can use any that have the snowfall effect. So let's go in with our white card. So let's trim that, and we're going to trim that now to 3.5. So yeah, you can go that way, 3.5 inches by 5.5. And then while I'm here, let's take a piece of black card, and I only want a very thin, and I mean very thin, black matte layer. So I'm going to do maybe about 3 millimeters bigger, and then I'm going to trim little and often. So if I start to layer that up, so I'm not going to have to trim too much.
Crafty Mama has just said, could you use the spatula with glitter paste?
Absolutely,
Okay.
yeah. Anything like that you can absolutely use. Treat it as though it's the glitter paste,
Yeah.
and apply it ways in which you would apply your glitter pastes. But obviously, usually your glitter glues are used as a form of embellishments, but you can, of course, use them in the ways that you would use your glitter pastes. So we're going to take our turquoise card and let's cut that to 5 3/4 by 3 3/4. Let's try, actually, Craig, go not 6 3/4, 5 3/4. There we go. So that will give us a slightly bigger matting layer with the turquoise.
Yeah.
But what it'll also do, if I take my 4x6 or A6 card, we're just going to, my card blank isn't even bang on. So let's make our own one. So this was actually a pre-bought card blank, which is clearly not to the correct size. So
Send it back.
Send it back. Yeah. Yeah. How awkward would it be if it was ours?
Oh yeah, send it back. Oh no. Ooh.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not. So making our own, I'm just putting a score line at the 4-inch mark and then turn that back. So let's cut that at the 4-inch. That will take that part away, and let's turn that around and let's cut it at 6-inch. That's going to give me my 4x6 card blank.
Brilliant.
And then that is going to fit absolutely perfectly into place. What we can then do, let's move that out the way. So we'll see that that's going to sit over there. So pop that up out the way, and then we're going to bring in our folder. So if I open this one here, now this one is actual fall of snowflakes.
Yeah.
You've got a big cluster and it gets less and less and less. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to position it so that the snowflakes are right at the bottom. So I'm not getting the big lot of clusters. I'm just going so I've got that mediocre level of cluster of snowflakes. And then we're going to close that over. I'm going to use my MIDI, so let me get my shim. And it is a 2D folder, this one. So let's run that one through. So if we run that through our MIDI, that's then going to give us that impression of the snowflakes. Now you can do letterpress if you want to.
Yeah.
You can then ink it if you want. I'm not. I'm going to keep it as it is.
Yeah.
So then we'll have had our layer here.
Nice.
And then we've got our mats and layers that we can see here.
Perfect.
Now, the one last thing that I'm going to do, Ben, before we take a little bit of a break, is the sparkling snowflake. That's the frame it dies.
Yeah.
I'm going to use this inner frame here, and I'm going to cut out the centre of my turquoise card. Now, I'm going to have to make sure I'm pretty bang on the centre, because this is the only turquoise card I've got. So if I make a mistake,
it's game over.
It's game over.
Oh, don't put pressure on yourself.
No, no pressure. Worst case scenario, I can always take the blue cardstock that's in the turquoise packet. So
You'll be fine, mate. We've got full what's the word I'm looking for? We are. You'll do it.
I'll do it.
Yeah, you'll do it.
So let's run this one through here.
Or will he?
Let's run it in the folder.
Everyone's holding their breath.
Oh no, it slipped. No, it's not.
You little tease, you mean girl, you.
Meanie. So let's take that out. Perfect. Fine.
Woohoo.
That's good. Now, what I'm going to do within this one here is if I then take the centre bit out, just now, let's just take that one out. Actually, I can just do the whole lot now. If we take this out, and you've got all of these little bits. These are all die cut. So we need to pop these out.
Yeah.
Also good, because these are really small and minute, these are great for shakers. So if we pop these little bits out here, And then what I'm going to do, Ben, is I'm going to stop there.
Yeah.
Let anyone catch up with their stenciling, their layering, and their die cutting.
Yeah.
All that I'm doing is popping these bits out. I will do nothing else until we come back.
We'll have a break in a second. Just a few more of your memories. If you have just joined us, as well as this crafting along, we've got a prize to give away celebrating Mean Girls Day. So we're asking for your best memory with your girlfriend. Rebecca says, back in 2020 when the world shut down, was the year I turned 40 and my 4 besties went to Clevedon National Trust in September, hired a boat and drove up the Thames. We quickly learned I can't drive a boat. We then had a takeout afternoon tea. It was the best day with the best girls. So many laughs and memories. I think one of my favourite funny memories was with Laura was when I think it was just. No, I've just remembered because a boat story. When we came up here, we were looking at houses where we moved up, and we had a day in Durham, and we decided it'd be a good idea to hire a rowboat as a family. And where you get the boats from on the river there is it's right by a pub. And they sort of pushed you out, and I started rowing one way, Laura started rowing another way, and we were just basically like going around in circles, and then we hit a bridge, and we just ended up like having this massive argument about who was rowing the right way and who was rowing the wrong way all the time. The people at the pub who were getting drunk, pointing and laughing at us. We've never rowed again since. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream.
If it causes an argument.
Ben and Laura are getting divorced. Laura's starting to scream. Christine says, good morning, everyone. Those stamps are just so adorable. And Jane McGillivray says, hi there. I picked up some of these cute characters on Saturday and went a bit rogue with the polar bear set. Rogue. Coloured them as pandas, gummy bears. I saw this picture. Care Bears. I saw that on you put it on socials. You did Care Bears, and also as famous bears, including Pooh, Paddington, Kung Fu Panda, Pudsey, and Rupert. I can't see if I can send you the photos. I feel like I've seen those photos. That's so strange. Jane, send them in to us, please. studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk. That's where you need to send them. We need to see those, please. Melanie D is going to try the craft along. Anita says, thank you, guys. You brighten this bird's day incredibly. Craig is the king of techniques, says PB Brewer Martin. And Cindy Thompson says, the best memory I have with my girlfriend was when we went out for my birthday. She brought me a Jägermeister thinking she would get me drunk. I had one and it was gross. She got drunk, not me. Do you like a Jägermeister, do you?
No.
Ah.
No, I'm a tequila guy.
Tequila.
Which I really want to try, drink responsibly. I really want to try the Rocks tequila. It's
The
in
Rock?
It's in Tesco's.
Is it?
40 quid a bottle. I'm
40
like, no.
quid?
I'll wait till it comes down on a club.
Is it Terramana or something it's called, isn't
Yeah,
it?
something like that.
Yeah. I don't really like all that fancy stuff. Jägermeister just makes me giddy. No.
Oh,
Drink and craft responsibly. We are going to have a break right now, give you opportunity to get caught up if you need to catch up, or if you need to ask any questions, you can fire those in. Also gives you an opportunity to check these out if you haven't already, and we will meet you back here in about 4 Minuten.
My day-to-day life is pretty busy in work. Literally, I get in the door, I check my polls, I then check what I've got to demo, I then get everything ready, and it's just busy from there. I have a meeting with the producer, the director, we get then sorted for the shows, talk to the presenter, and it depends what side I'm on. I mean, sometimes I'm doing the presenting side, sometimes I'm doing the demonstration side, and I love both. It's actually who I get to work with. I can't say no more than that other than anybody that works here. We are a big family. We're so super friendly. I love Ben. I love it when we work together. And I don't mean that I don't love anyone else. It's the fact that Ben is the presenter and then I'm demonstrating and we just have this great rapport. Same with Craig, same with Deb, same with the whole team. So yeah, the best part of the day is just getting to work with the best people in the industry. Oh, a night out. In the morning. Oh, none. I only drink water. Oh, well, I'm cutting out sugar, so it's got to be savoury. Masterclass. Oh, I can't leave the house without my lipstick. Oh, I love a baked potato. I relax, so I literally drive home normally and then I relax.
When I'm working, it's quite busy because I have to get up really early to come into work if I'm going to be travelling from London. But otherwise, I'm quite lazy. I spend a lot of time in bed. Best part of my day is when we come in and I get to see everybody. I really enjoy being up here. It's really nice to see all my friends, and this is my happy place. I do like to see everyone, and also, of course, if Christina's in, I'm getting my breakfast from Christina before I start the day. Early riser without a doubt, never a night owl. I'm in bed at 9:30. Bath at night, shower in the morning. I'm very clean. Tea, the colour of He-Man. Both. I like pancakes with bacon and maple syrup. Craft along, because there's always a softer side to craft along. My phone, my life is my phone. Yeah, the phone and the dog, unless I'm coming up here and I can't bring the dog in. My favourite lunch isn't lunch. My favourite lunch is afternoon tea. That's what I'd like. Lots of selection of sandwiches, some scones, or scones, some cream and jam, and some little cakes. But I couldn't have it every day because I'd be the size of a house. Oh, that changes to the moment. My favourite song at the moment is Natasha Bedingfield, Unwritten. Or make myself a cup of tea and go and have a bath.
Laurie says, DIY turquoise paper with marker on white card. And Cindy Condi says, when 14, we went to a ball game and for some reason we snacked on a pomegranate and Cheetos. That's a combo, that, isn't it? The boys we had crushes on saw us and we were so embarrassed because we were all stained red and orange. What, like stained around here and like Cheeto fingers. Never mind, never mind. I love all of these memories though. So best memories with your best girls we're looking for today as part of Mean Girls Day. We will pick somebody at the end of the show to win these two goodies from the Wild at Heart collection. It's the sentiments, the Stay Wild sentiments, and then we've got the 2D embossing folder entitled Roar. We are here in the midst of the craft along with the cute characters. Details on your screen if you want the showstopper, and from the cute character embellishments to the cute character who's leading it.
Here we go. Let's dive in. Let's do stamping and colouring. So I've got my white card here. We're just going to anchor that down and then we're going to stamp onto it. So let's take our polar bears and we'll pop that on. Tell you what we could do at this moment in time as well. Let's take our guillotine, because we can take our cardstock and let's cut a strip for our sentiment while we're here.
Yeah.
So take our white card and we're going to cut it to 2 3/4. So 2 3/4, and then we're going to cut by 1/2 inch. Now, I can't tell where 1/2 inch is there. So here, so that's 2 1/4, so let's come by 1/4 inch, come down 1/2 inch, chop, and now I've got my strip that's going to be perfect to do my sentiment.
Perfect.
Now we will do a thin black border, so what we'll do is we'll stamp our sentiment, stick this on, then trim afterwards. So move that out the way. I just thought while we're waiting to do our character, let's also do our sentiment. So it doesn't matter where on our card we're going, we're just going to stamp. You can do Nina card. I'm using our white card, Ben, because we're not actually doing much colouring.
Oh, yeah.
We're only adding a couple of greys and just blending a little bit. So it's not too much, so I'm just going to stick with my white cardstock. We're going to press that down. So let's give that a really, really good press. Remove that out of the way, and then you've got your cute character.
So cute.
Perfect opportunity to talk you through why I stamp, cut, and then colour.
Yeah.
So we'll talk you through that in a minute, but while we've got the stamping platform out, let's pop our discs on and let's take our sentiment. So now we can pop that in. Now my sentiment, my layer of card is just a little bit too short to put the discs on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my dotty tape runner, Ben,
Yeah.
and I'm just going to do a few little dots, and then I can stick that onto my stamping platform. So that means that's going to stay in place. I don't need the aid of the discs. And our white card layer with the sentiment, it's going to be stuck onto black card anyway, so it doesn't matter about the adhesive behind it. And if you do have a leftover bit of adhesive on your stamping mat, what happens is it just wipes off, so it's all good.
Excellent.
So let's take our alcohol-proof Noir Black. The Flagstone Grey would be good for the polar bears as well,
Okay.
and even the sentiment, but I do tend to stick with black with everything. Have a very Merry Christmas. So that's us now got our character stamped and we've got our sentiment stamped. So let's die cut. And the reason I like to die cut, which many of you will know, why I die cut before I colour, and it's in case a little boo-boo, the bear, no pun
Boo-boo
intended,
bear.
does happen.
In case a little boo-boo comes along, boo-boo.
I've not seen that in years, do you know that?
Did you see the movie?
No, I've not seen any of the movies.
Oh, the movie's so good.
Is it good, is it?
It's got Dan Aykroyd as the voice of Yogi,
Right.
and Justin Timberlake is the voice of Boo Boo.
All right, okay.
And it's got some guy, the guy who plays, what's the ranger called? Ranger, what's the ranger called in Yogi Bear? He's called, what does Yogi Bear say? He calls him, oh no, Ranger Smith. Anyway, the guy who plays Ranger Smith is like one of those actors, you'll recognise his face, but you can never quite remember what films he's in, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
One of those guys who tends to crop up in a lot of movies. It's a really good movie. I think you should go and watch it. It's very heartwarming.
I might watch it this weekend. I'm planning on doing very little this weekend.
And one of my mantras for life is in that movie when Yogi Bear says, if you never, let's get this right, if you never stop, let's get this right, you can never fail if you never stop trying. There you go.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. Boo
How
boo.
lovely is that?
Yeah.
Very true.
Because he's always trying to steal the picnic baskets, isn't he?
That's right, yeah. So, what I was doing there is obviously I've cut out the character, and now I'm just running this through within the black cardstock that you're seeing now. So if I run that one through here, because that's going to be our drop shadow. Now, answer the question, not really the question, but what I was saying.
Why do you do it that way round?
Yeah. And the reason being, Ben, is, God forbid, but let's say I've stamped it, I go and colour that out, run it through my die cutting machine, and the die slips. That's you wasted.
All that time wasted.
Now, okay, there's not going to be a lot of colouring, but still, that's colouring time you've wasted. So I will stamp, I will cut, and then I will colour. That then means there is no chance of the die slipping after you've coloured, because you've already done the colouring. So that's why I'll always do it that way. There may, depending on the stamp or the die, there may be the odd occasion for whatever reason I need to colour first.
Yeah.
But 9 times out of 10, I will always come along and I will do the actual die cutting first before I colour. So I'm going to then go along. I've got enough cardstock here to go. So I think what we'll do, I'm a bit conscious of time. So what I'll do, Ben, is let's do our mat and layer, and then we'll take one last break.
Yeah.
And then I'll get all my final bits ready so that we can colour and assemble the card. So let's pop our sentiment on our black card. We're going to do a drop shadow. So sentiment-wise, what I tend to do is exactly this. I will come along and I'll stick it onto my black card or any colour card and then trim afterwards, giving myself a thin layer.
Yeah.
And then this one, I'm just going to cut right along the top, and that is because if I show you this one, the sentiment we're tucking underneath, so you're not seeing the black matten layer at the top. So I've just got my black matten layer left, right, and along the bottom, and then I'm just going to trim this off a little bit more, and then when we come back to me, we can finish the card after we've coloured.
Excellent stuff. Thank you everyone for all the comments. Sarah Thompson says, best memory for me is with my middle school bestie and his family. We had a sleepover and the next day his family took us to the local amusement park. I used to love going to the amusement parks. Brilliant. You used to get the travelling fairs that would come to our town as well. Probably around about this time of the year actually. And I always used to go to the fairs with my mum and dad, and then the day after the fair left, I'd always go back up to the green with my sister, because they used to have like, it was like called the cage, and it was like a ride which like tipped people upside down, and all of their change would fall out their pockets. So me and my sister used to go up there and find all of the coins.
I love that.
Those were the days. I love the cartoon Yogi Bear, says Christine. Watched it as a child. Showing my age. Not at all, not at all. Jane, who was mentioning and chatting to us earlier on, said she's worked with these bears. And this is what she's done with them. Jane McGillivray has created the Care Bears.
Cute.
Sunshine Bear and what's that one called? Is it Heart Bear and the rest of them? And then some other different bears. These are the gummy bears.
Oh, nice.
Bouncing here and there and
I wouldn't want to eat them though.
No.
Too cute.
Too cute. Then we've got your polar bears, classic polar bears.
Oh.
Super duper cute.
I like that furry look she's created with a pen.
The next one is
Shut
Get Out of
up.
Town. Kung Fu Panda, Pudsey, Paddington, Pooh and Rupert.
Oh, we've got Children in Need coming up soon as well.
We have.
In the UK.
That
is brilliant.
That's such a brilliant idea, Jane.
Jane, can you imagine making them and selling them for charity?
I know. That's such a cool idea. Jane, you've just won Thursday with that. I absolutely love that. The pictures are on the I'm a Crafter's companion page, Rachel tells me, so that is where I saw them previously. So well done, Jane. Thanks, everybody. We're really enjoying the show. We are going to take a short little break right now, just to give you the opportunity to catch up if you are crafting along. If you are, by the way, give us a little holla, or if you plan to do it at a later date, then also just let us know. And like I say, everything's available. Showstopper, the smaller bundles for you, and if you just decide that you want to recreate Craig's card, for example, you can just buy the individual characters as well. It is entirely up to you. We will come back and finish the project with Craig in just a few moments' time, but in the meantime, get to the checkouts and we'll meet you back here in about 4.
Come in, check my emails, then lay the shows out in the studio, set pack shots up. Then I will get new polls, pick shows, solve any problems that need solving. We deal with other teams where we receive market and suites, we receive boards. We pick samples to send to Hobby Maker. We pick samples to send to QB. We will take the previous shows out of the studios, set the new shows up. We do floor manage occasionally, not all the time, making sure that the craft expert presenters have everything at hand that they need. Anything that they haven't got during shows, we will run about and get the products for them. Think on a morning when it's really quiet, I can get more done when there's nobody else in the building. Night owl. Morning. Coffee on a morning, tea the rest of the day. Savoury. Normally lunchtime. Craft along. mobile phone. Christina's chicken wrap. Barry White, you're my first, my last, my everything. Go home and make me.
Day to day looks like, on a normal day when I'm working from home, get up, breakfast, quick phone call with my daughter, and then I'm up in the craft room and I spend all my time in the craft room. It's spending a day with the grandkids, that's it. That's my best part of the day, just spending time with family, those gorgeous little grandkids of mine. The best part of the day when I'm at work is when I go on air, because I absolutely love it. Both. I prefer a shower in the morning. I feel fresher. I feel that I can tackle my day. However, depending on how that day's been, I also would have a double shower, so I'd have one in the morning and one at night too. Absolutely, 100% coffee. Will always be coffee. And flavoured coffee is my favourite at the moment. Dare I say it's a full English breakfast, the full works, the beans, the tomatoes, the bacon, the sausage, and everything else that goes with a traditional English breakfast. Craft along every day of the week. I absolutely love going through the stages from the start of a project to the end of a project. So craft along is definitely my favourite choice. I can't leave without my lipstick. It's a given thing. I once didn't have a lipstick on me and Leanne helped me out that day. Kick off my shoes, sit down for a couple of minutes, just gather my thoughts and then grab my tea.
My favourite comment of the day, actually maybe the week, has just come in. Crafty Vera. This is brilliant. Crafty Vera says, Oscar is following Craig's instructions very closely. Obviously, he cannot use the guillotine. He's only 8. And a chihuahua. That is brilliant.
That is good.
Yes.
The doggy's following me.
Yeah.
Can he colour?
Well, if you maybe like taped a little pen to his paw, he probably would be able to go. Yes. See, I remember the bear of very little brains here. Oscar is the little chihuahua who we showed the picture of the other day, who loves you. You know, you were on the screen and he was like looking. Yeah.
That's Oscar.
So that is little Oscar.
Got ya.
Maybe if you held his paw, like you could help him to push the guillotine arm down, couldn't you, carefully? But that would be a funny photo/video. Anyway, back to the crafting. 10 minutes left. Just a bit of colouring, isn't it?
Yeah, let's crack on. So let's take the rose blush, and I'm just using that finer nib, and we're just going to go inside the ears. So we're going into the little look holes that you can see here. And then once we've done the insides, let's go in with our ice grey too. And I'm going to start with the typical.
Oh, never.
Right, okay, so let's keep going. I'm going to jump to, if I can find it, which I can't. Let's jump to there's ice grey shade, right, let's go. I'm just going to jump to the brush markers. I would have used our illustrators, but I'm still using the ice grey too, so nothing different, still the same colour. Of course, they're all the same colour no matter what pen you use. So let's work our way round. We're going to go in round the side here.
Is this the same colour grey that you'd use if you wanted to like bring, say, like snowmen to life, for example?
For me, yeah. Yeah, you can use one of the ice blue or grey blues for that. But yeah, I use the ice grey 2 for snow or snowmen or anything that's white that you want to create a little bit of definition to.
Yeah.
It's the ice grey 2 that I use 100%. So let's just go along the bottom there. We're going to go in with the ice grey 3, and we're just using that finer nib. And it's as if I'm just sketching round the side here. So we're just sketching, work our way along here, round the side. So essentially where I've gone with the ice grey 2, I'm going over again with the actual ice blue or blue grey 3, work our way into here. You can see I'm just doing section by section. Going to go in with the blender pen. I'm just going to go in with that brush nib, and I'm just going to blend all that in, work that in, blend in. So not being neat, not being tidy. Thing is, when it comes to the fur of the polar bears, or any bears, it can be quite rough anyway.
Yeah.
So that's why you don't need to spend too long. So we can see that look that we're going for there.
Great.
Let's work our way round, still with the ice grey 2, and then we're just going to go in round his face, round his ears. Just going to go underneath his eyebrow, and we're going to repeat that for all of these. Round the ear, eyebrow, under nose. So it's very repetitive for them all. They're just obviously in different stances. I'm only doing a few at a time because it's still alcohol colouring, so we'll want to make sure we capture it before the alcohol evaporates.
Is the blender pen available individually?
I don't know. It used to be. It did come in with a pack.
Yeah.
But it used to be individual. Just blending that one out there. Blending that, and then blending that. And then we're going to go back to the ice grey 2. And we're just going to do that again with the last couple of bears. Working our way in. And you can see I'm not being precise.
No.
I'm just kind of sketching. And I'm not doing this because of time limitations. I'm doing this because this is what I've done with my original one. You don't want to spend too long. And then that finer nib with the blue grey 3. Round. Repeating where we've been, but just with that finer detail. Round the head, round the back, underneath. And then we can go in with that blender pen again. Just blend that in. Scribble over the top is essentially what I'm doing, like so. And that's it. It's all the time that you need to spend when it comes to creating the white polar bears, actually white, but using grey.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to go in with my tacky glue. So we're going to then pop my tacky glue onto the back. I'm just going to go around all the edges, making sure that we've got a nice coverage, not too much. The less glue, the better. And then we're going to do a drop shadow. And then while that's sitting, bring these layers in here. Just going to jump to my tape runner for this one.
Yep.
So all of these layers, the emboss layer, black layer, turquoise layer, the emboss layer and black layer, I'm going to keep flat. And then the turquoise layer, I'm going to lift on foam pads. So work our way round here. I'm not putting a bit in the middle at the moment because of course I've got the aperture, so there's nothing for it to stick to. So if we then just make sure, the only thing about gutting your card is it makes the edges a little bit more flimsy and flexible. So let's go in with our dotty tape runner because that frame of course has got all of that fine pinpoint detailed die cuts. So I'm going to use my dots for this one. If you've got our fine foam pad strips, you could take the finest one out the two of them.
Yeah.
And then use that to elevate this frame if you want to.
Okay.
Bring this back in. We're going to frame within the middle just here. Alternatively, if you want that little bit of flexibility, use your tacky glue. And then that's us frame that inner section. Let's jump to our foam pads. So let's pop these on. I would, of course, at home, spend more time with more foam pads, but that shall do before we come to the end of the show. Just lift these up. Of course, foam pads, completely optional for a card like this. If you want to keep it quite flat, then of course, don't add the foam pads. Press that in. Let's take our backdrop that we've done with the sailor's wake. I'm going to keep that flat. That's going to fit perfectly within the middle here. And I'm just going to hold, obviously I've put glitter glue on this one, so we're just going to let that grab for a moment. Let's go back to our polar bears. I'm going to put these on foam pads, which these ones are 3mm, so not quite as deep as the other one. So that can go here. Now, the only thing that I would have done, but I'm not going to have time, is pop some gems in the corner.
Oh, yeah.
You can do that, but if I bring my polar bears here, just putting a little bit of tacky glue on the back of the foam pad, because it's going on an uneven surface, and then I can then pop my glue on my sentiment, and that can go underneath as if it's sitting on the sentiment. So let's press that in. So this one here, Ben, I added the gems, 3 gems in each corner. But that one, there we go.
Perfect.
There is our project, our card.
I'll tell you what, perfect craft along, and couldn't have finished at a better time. Bang on time. If you want that collection, the Showstopper is available, all 42 elements in total. Best price to go for that. In one click, you get the 3 smaller bundles, making up that 14-piece Showstopper at £60 or $76. Thank you, everyone, for all your comments. We do have a winner in this show as well, so thank you to Tez Thornton. Well done, Tez. Thank you for your comment. You've won those 2 elements from the Wild at Heart collection. You need to just send us a little message, CTV prizes at crafterscompanion.co.uk, and we will get those sent out to you at the end of the show. And that is it from us. Massive thank you to Craig. We are back tonight. You ready to Halloween it up tonight for Cartload?
I am indeed. We all know my favourite show of the week. That's Cartload. It's going to be fast-paced, and grab yourself some bargains.
Yeah, we've got trick-or-treat deals, spooky deals, loads of individual deals for you as well. So if you're shopping on a bit of a budget, there'll be deals for you. Until then, have a brilliant Thursday.
Toodles.